I love that song. I think that's the song that brought me on to Gucci, but you know. Yeah. Ooh, the hand claps. Yes, audience that ain't here. Yeah.
They live too. Like, we got the digital fans and the residual fans.
Yo, it's like we done bought fans off of Instagram. You know how you buy people?
Yo,
like, bitch, I'm popping because I got like a million followers.
There's a million people in here right now.
Right, we can make them laugh all motherfucking night.
Give me a laughing sound.
There we go.
No, okay.
See?
Give her a boost.
Yeah, because she's about to get Sandman booed off the stage right now for that.
Okay. Anyways, welcome back, y'all. This is your very friendly, unpopular opinion podcast crew. Yay! And we are back with episode number 17. We are moving on up. This is J Hood, but professionally known as Janiqua. And to the left of me, I have who?
Chris Hahn, a.k.a. Hahn Shondo.
Hey.
Oh my God, all types of like Holy Ghost tongue names. Anyways, to the right of me.
You already know I'm gonna keep it true. This is your boy Nate Deuce. What it do? You know
Nate Deuce is the Gucci.
You already know, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I rock that shit every day.
You know what I'm saying? That nigga, he's the one that hasn't quite evolved yet. You know, he's.
Come on, man. You already know me.
He done went to the pen, but he's still the same.
You already know how you coming. Hey, shout out my nigga Repo, free Repo. He locked up right now, but that nigga,
Repo.
He's my little nigga. He's my little nigga, and he put me on Gucci back in the day. And we was diehard Jeezy fans. Let me get this straight. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm talking about the street niggas that I grew up with. We was all hardcore Jeezy fans because of what he was talking about was what was going on. But at the same time, this dude came out of nowhere like, yo, Gucci is real. Like, you know, you remember So Icy? Yo, check him out. And yo, since then, I've been on Gucci. Shout out my nigga Repo, man. You know what I'm saying? Free Repo.
Gucci. Which takes me into the topic. First of all,
because you ain't gonna play my nigga, man.
Wait, I'm not gonna play him because I had waited. I was so happy when I realized it was no longer gonna be Jeezy and T.I. because T.I. was gonna wash Jeezy any fucking way. Because T.I.
I think it would have been a good battle.
It would have been a good battle, but T.I. has nothing but hits after hits after hits after hits.
But that's what Jeezy did.
Yeah, but all of T.I.'s album is hits. Like, every last one of them. Yes, they are.
Everyone's.
Come on now. Don't do him.
Okay.
Because if you think about the essence of verses, what verses supposed to stand for, he was going to get Jeezy.
Okay.
Now, as we talk about the Gucci versus Jeezy, I was pleasantly happy because I had been waiting for this for decades. Let's throw that out there.
Right.
And when we started the verses, we was all three Gucci because, like, that was our nigga back in the day. Yeah. That was our And, you know, like, as we were texting...
Wait, you said we was?
We were all three Gucci, like...
So what you saying?
So you're not Gucci
I switched it to Jeezy because as it was going... Let me explain to you why. Let me explain to you why. When I was listening to the verses, I was like, God dang, like...
You ain't riding with us no more?
Damn, Jeezy really did have me back in... He had a lot of hits that... He had a lot of fucking hits, and those were like... And you gotta think, I am raised around street niggas. Like, I'm not a bandwagoner. I'm raised around street people.
Yeah.
Jeezy makes music for street people.
Yeah.
Gucci makes music for dope dealers that do their own drugs and sell at the same time.
You stupid.
Like, swear to God, you know, on God.
Gucci don't smoke nor drink no more. So how
he don't do it no more, but he was doing it back in the days when he made all of our fucking hits. Don't get it twisted. When he was back in the days, made all of our hits. I know. I was high as a kite when I was like, I'm a dog. I probably popped the molly when I did that shit. I don't know. You know. Bitch, it might be. I was high as a kite or drunk as fuck. You know, but the essence, I was like, damn, Jeezy, like, you came on through. And there were songs that he just didn't even play. Where I was like, damn, he should have just played that. Like Hustler's Ambition. Like, he should have played that shit. He should have played Trap or Die 2. He could have played Recession.
He should have played
He
My
could've-
President is Black, man. Straight
That's
up.
a good
like,
one, but
I
that
was
isn't
waiting.
even as hard as
But
like
all the
way
political
here.
stuff going on right now, I just knew he was gonna
But
play
that's
that
cool and
just
all.
for the remembrance of Obama, man. Like,
But then even I got to Gucci. Gucci didn't even play half of his real good
You right.
shit. Like he played, I think he played music for a beef, but there was no beef. Like
I
you,
was shocked
why
that
you
he
beef?
didn't.
There's a beef, but it's verses. Like y'all not about to do nothing.
But see,
on
Gucci
verses.
took it literal, and that's why I like Gucci.
He's so
'cause
stupid.
It was versus. It was Gucci. He
He's so
started off.
stupid.
I don't like
And that's-
niggas being friends or come like
Yeah.
No. So
Like, we
that's
was
the
talking.
difference. You don't have to be friends. Like at some point, you need to just grow the fuck up and let it go.
True.
Like because unless you about to bust a move,
But
it's over with.
for the
It's
sake of
20
entertainment,
years.
for the sake of entertainment, Gucci started
No,
off.
that wasn't entertainment. Gucci was really ready with the shit.
But y'all know we was talking the whole time. We was texting.
Yeah.
And I said it when he came out. I know you missed the song.
Mhm.
I had never
I
even
didn't
heard
miss
it. I had never even heard the song, but the song
Which one, round one?
was Gucci versus Jeezy
You
round
ain't
one.
never heard that song?
No, and when it was a perfect song to kickstart this thing. It was like I gotta give it to Gucci
That
right
shit
now.
so old.
And I'm just saying, the way he came out, the song was called Gucci versus
never heard
Jeezy
it
round
either?
one, Chris.
Yeah.
And
I got
and he went in on him,
I
and
just
it
got
was
a lot
like,
of
yeah,
questions for
this is a
that.
versus.
What?
my first question is, if I tried to kill you 15 years ago,
I know
Oh,
that.
my
I,
God.
No.
So we're not
Are
gonna be
you-
friends. We're not gonna
No,
be
we're
friends.
not gonna be friends. And
I
I
wouldn't have
think
done the
that's-
verses, but
Listen,
I wouldn't have done the
every
verses
time I
either.
see you, I'm gonna try to fight you.
But I wouldn't have done
Every
the verses. That's the dilemma with him.
No,
Like.
and he didn't do the verses to win. He did the
No,
verses just to
I
start
know
some
he
shit.
didn't do the verses to win, but that's not the platform. Like, why you? If you a street nigga, y'all gonna do that shit behind closed doors. Y'all,
No.
Stop.
Real, if he's a street nigga,
that's a rapper.
but
And
he's
that
a street
Jeezy-
nigga first.
and that nigga
He's a
Jeezy
street
called
nigga,
him
and
out.
Jesus a street nigga
And so
first.
he went to the platform and
There's
said,
no, he declined
Listen.
first. If you remember, he
I
declined
would have
Jeezy first.
did the whole verses just to play Truth.
Thank you.
Now
I
he killed
just
it with
man.
truth. He killed it with truth. However, he declined Jeezy at first,
No,
so
let's-
he didn't have to do
Because he
this.
knew
Well,
he
let's lay
might
this
shoot
out.
this nigga.
He should have just let it go. Like
And
he
let's
should
lay
have
this
just
out.
kept declining it.
Well, let's
But
lay
at the
this out.
same energy, like either you gonna come to be a grown man and play this shit and keep
First
it
of all,
moving,
I'm
or
gonna be a
don't.
kid the rest of my life if you try to kill me.
I'm
gonna
not
act the
saying
fool
that.
every time
I'm
I
not-
see you.
what I'm not
Hey,
saying-
pussy,
What
remember you
I'm
tried
not
to kill me, I made
saying,
it.
what I'm not
Already.
saying is that he's wrong. He
I
would be
made it
wrong
up.
for that. Like I know if somebody tried to kill me
Already.
back in the days, it's always gonna be
Back in the
we
days,
would've
today,
never,
tomorrow,
we'd have
nigga,
never
it's
done
on.
the verse. Let me tell you,
Try to kill me if you want,
let me
nigga, it's
just-
on.
Street
Like, that's all I'ma
mentality.
say.
I'd have never done the verses with him because I know it would have been on
Street
site.
business.
Gucci never
Anybody.
It
sat
would never
down.
been on site. It
That's
would
why
have been
Gucci
on
stayed
site.
up the whole time because he didn't know if the nigga was gonna
It'd
Hey,
have been on
check
site.
this out.
It'd
Check
been on
this
site.
out.
But
You had to be ready.
if Gucci was about his shit, he should have gave it to
Check
him on
this
site
out.
because he deserved that shit
Check this out.
for trying to kill him 20 years ago.
Check this out. Saddam Hussein and his terrorist buddies
Mm-hmm.
sent something at the Pentagon to try to kill George Bush. What happened?
They
This
didn't
nigga
try to
went.
kill George Bush. They tried to kill
Man,
everybody.
he felt threatened because he was the president in office at that time, and they went and hung this
felt
nigga in the
threatened
middle of the
because
street.
9/11
I'm just
was a
saying,
big thing.
whether you in the streets or you the president of the country,
But that's what I'm saying.
if somebody try to kill you, nigga,
Gucci gotta
it's
like
on.
that's
Trying
why
to
he
kill my
shouldn't have
mom.
done the
They trying to
verses.
kill
He
my
should
mom,
have just did what he needed to do. Like that's why I'm not
He did
saying
do what
Gucci
he
was
needed
wrong.
to do.
No, it was
He came
stupid.
in
Like either
and
you
he
gonna
played
be a
the
grown
truth,
man
and
or
he
you're
said,
not.
Let me
smoking
know.
on-
Let me know when it's my
But
turn.
My thing is either
Let me
you
know when
gonna
it's my
like
turn. I'ma swing
and
everything.
I just it wasn't funny. Like it wasn't. He was not cool because he did that to me. I think because
I
I'm
don't
no
think he was
longer.
cool, but
No, I think he thought he was cool for that shit. Like,
I
if
think-
Jeezy wouldn't have checked him, once
You
Jeezy
think
checked,
Jeezy
no,
checked-
get
Oh,
that,
wow.
no,
Whoa.
check, listen this,
Listen
he
this.
changed his energy when Jeezy said something to him.
Mm-hmm.
He did change, and you can't deny that he changed his energy in the essence when Jeezy said that.
I think he was looking at him like, man, this nigga pussy.
So can I
I mean, he
Right.
probably thought. I'm not saying he didn't think that, but he changed that motherfucking energy
Nah,
because they could have did the smoke or they not. Either you gonna be a grown man or you gonna get the fuck
Well,
out.
can I talk?
He did. Go ahead.
I wanna just lay this out, okay?
Mhm.
Cause you know I love this shit. Like when it was, I was so fucking crunk. Like
I was so
man, I finished a whole
I
bottle
was
of
like,
Hennessy.
this is
Like
stupid.
it was on, but
but I'm scared.
really, in the reality of the situation, right? So there's been a lot of conversation around it, and a lot of people were saying, well, there were some people who didn't know the history behind that, and some people who did. The majority of these young people out here that's jumping on the bandwagon, they don't know about that old Gucci, Jeezy beef. They just.
I don't know why it's so publicized.
But you gotta really look at it for what it is, right? So this is something that's supposed to be swept under the rug and kumbaya. So at the same time, I watched. Jeezy went on all kind of interviews after that, right?
He went on interviews before that, though.
He went on.
Like, listen,
he did
I'm talking about after.
I'm saying he did interviews
Okay.
before and he did interviews after.
But listen to me. I'm just saying, when he went on these interviews afterwards, Charlamagne directly asked him, have you once put yourself in Gucci's shoes?
He absolutely did.
And his answer was so condescending. I don't care what you say. He was like, nah, man, I really ain't even thought about it. Like, yo,
he was like,
check
if you're
this.
willing to have a conversation, we can't. What are we
but
talking
at the end
about?
of the day,
so check this.
But at the end of the day, like he can't go back 20 years, and he's not asking
But
for
he
that.
never
No.
did. Did he
He's
ever
not
apologize?
asking. We don't know.
Hey, my nigga, I'm sorry I tried to
We
kill you that time.
don't know.
And
That's
listen
why
to me.
he also said there's a deeper conversation they need to have.
Right. And I agree.
They can.
But
Like,
listen to me.
if the olive branch was thrown and Gucci said it's accepted, now they can have a deeper conversation.
Jeezy isn't the nigga to throw the olive branch because you tried to kill me.
He is
I
the-
have to reach
but
out
he
to
is-
you and
no,
be
no,
like,
no.
hey,
No,
I'm
no.
cool with you now.
He's the one that needs to make amends because he's the one that tried to kill
Then he
Gucci. That's how
never
forgiveness
did.
works.
That was his whole
But what I'm
response
saying,
to
that's how
Charlamagne.
forgiveness works. That's how the olive branch works.
So-
now he said they have the opportunity to sit down. Just because in
I
front
have
of
to give you the
us,
opportunity.
But listen to me.
that's what he was saying.
But
Like,
listen,
I
you
gave
know,
the
as
olive
Gucci,
branch.
I have to be the one to
Now
say
that-
I'm okay now.
He said, I accept the olive branch. Now it's time for the
He
conversation.
wanted to be the versus the people.
If. But that's what Gucci was saying in the interview. Like Jeezy was saying in the interview, like, if there's a deeper conversation that needs to be had because that shit is deeper than this. He knows
let
that.
me finish. Let me finish.
I don't think he played the victim.
Let me finish.
I think he has evolved as a person. He knew he did some fucked up shit that he can't move.
I'm
done.
gonna tell you what really happened, man. Because I went back on
Yeah,
the way
was you
here.
there?
On the way
Was you
here,
in they life?
listen. On the way here, I rewatched the whole
Are
fucking
you their
shit.
friends?
No, I'm not, and I
Do
feel
you
you.
know them
I'm trying
personally?
to act like yeah, I know what the fuck. Nah, I don't. But at the end of the day, like I knew the history behind it when it happened, like
Do you
long
know
time
them?
ago.
Do you know
But
them
when I
personally?
rewatched the shit on the way here, in the beginning of it, Jeezy kept referencing 05. And Jeezy had a lot of fucking hits that he was putting out, and all he kept saying, niggas sneak dissing, and he won't say a nigga name straight, but Jeezy was talking cash shit, and through that whole fucking versus shit, that's how it was. He would just kept saying, I'm gonna go back to 05. 05 is around the time this shit happened.
I'm just saying.
Listen though.
Gucci started off round one. What are you talking about?
Right.
He started off, so he was supposed to be like, well,
But
you know
at
what?
the same time,
Let me just shut the fuck up.
you know what?
Yes.
But at the same time,
okay.
I have to tell you this. Okay, I'm gonna just
We
say
knew
it so I
what
can
the
get it
verses
off.
was gonna be.
Let me get it off so you can finish. All right. So my personal opinion, I feel like Gucci was the bigger fucking man because Gucci actually said, "Fuck it, if we gonna do music, let's play music."
Exactly.
And if you want to do something else, he said we can say fuck it, and he said it.
Gucci was petty.
But
the
then
entire
listen, no,
time.
can I finish my statement? At the end of that, right?
You
Jeezy
want-
played
you
his
want to
song,
make that.
and then the next song, nobody paid attention. The next song that
I
Gucci
did.
played was another song that he made about that whole situation, explaining, nigga, you try to have me killed.
We know that. We know that
No,
they
but-
tried to get him
no,
killed.
No.
He ended up killing his nigga.
So can
we
I
know
finish?
these
Can I finish?
things.
So later I
It's
watched.
not
So later I watched
a
the doc.
secret.
So later I watched a clip about a guy talking about how rap music is the only music that allows people to glorify killing somebody else,
Absolutely.
and namely black people. He was like, he broke down the reason why you won't see white people making that kind of music because
Absolutely.
they can't market it. So listen, at the same time, Gucci was putting on a show. This is real life shit that happened, but at the same time, you got to look at it like Gucci's looking at it. Even though he's an entertainer and he is where he is, this man put a threat on his life.
Definitely did.
And he just openly voiced that this happened, and I'm still here.
I don't
Mind
think,
you,
I don't think
mind
they
you,
catch what I'm
since it
saying.
happened, I haven't talked to you and you haven't talked to me.
They have
so
talked
now
to each
we
other.
on stage.
So now
no.
yes they did because Jeezy said
Jeezy
they
said-
talked to each other before he went to prison 8 years ago, and they had the
No,
ability.
Jeezy said he couldn't understand
Oh
where he
my
was coming
God.
from because he
He
hasn't
said they
really
had
talked to
the
him.
ability. he said they talked before they went to prison. If you catch before interviews,
So what was his
instead
reason
of
for
catching
not being
the
able to
verses,
understand what he was
what it
coming
was,
from?
he said he felt like people were both in their ears. So by the time he went to prison, nothing else happened after that. So you got to catch interviews before that to know that there was conversation happening
Jeezy
before
put
he
it on
went
the
to
front,
prison.
man. Gucci the realest nigga in the world.
Gucci
doing
is
that shit
petty
on
all
TV.
the time.
I
Gucci
support
is
that
Gucci.
shit. He should have slapped that
Gucci,
nigga, man.
Gucci.
I would have slapped him.
But I'm
I would
not
have slapped the
saying-
whole shit
no,
and
so
slapped
what
the
I'm
shit out of him.
saying-
Gucci
I
did
think
what
what
he
you're
did to
thinking
make
I'm
that money
saying
and
is
move
that
on.
they should have been
But he
like
should
they
have
should
slapped
be
that nigga
cool.
for real.
What I'm saying is versus is a power play.
I would slap the
Don't
fuck out
bring
that nigga,
shit,
man. I don't give a
street
fuck about
shit to
TV.
versus.
Nigga, he
Like,
tried to kill
handle-
me.
No,
I don't give a
I'm
fuck
not
what's
saying
going
that.
on.
He declined.
I almost died.
What I'm saying is
Niggas kidnapped me.
he declined initially. Why did you come back?
Probably because he
Versus
said you
is
can't
not-
do truth. Like
Versus-
he said, he called him out.
No, versus is not street. Y'all dealing with street shit.
But the
versus
whole thing
is not
was
street.
the whole thing to make the
Versus
reason it
is
was so
not
big
street.
was because you know they
At the end
beef
of the
was
day.
really street
Right,
beef.
we know that.
So that
when
was
he
that was the
declined,
whole
he should have
thing.
just stuck with the decline.
Nah, man.
Hey,
I'm gonna say yeah, get this money, and I'm gonna say what
But
I'm
let me
doing
tell you
now.
something.
I killed your niggas.
Gucci lost.
What you gonna do?
This was the
He
best
said
versus.
send some more
Gucci
niggas.
lost.
I'm gonna send them back to
Gucci
you.
lost.
This
Let
was
me tell you
the
that.
best
Crazy, man.
versus.
If I
Gucci
say
lost
that to your
that
face,
day.
I won, man. I don't care
Gucci
what
lost
kind of
that
music you
goddamn
playing.
verses. I don't mean no
Hey, it
harm.
don't matter
Gucci
who
took that
won
motherfucking L.
or lost.
Yeah.
This was the best versus ever.
It
Ever.
was. They got like
1.6 mil.
no. They actually had 9 million
1.7
views.
at one
They
point.
had
All
they had
over.
9 million views.
So regardless of why Gucci came in here, that energy got them 9 million.
They got
views.
9 million views.
So it was a smart play from Gucci. Jeezy won the electoral vote. Gucci won the popular vote.
He running. He's the presidency.
I listened
He has
again.
more hits, and yes,
Jeezy got
Gucci
more
played
and
hits.
hits.
Jeezy can rap
And the
better,
essence of what
but
versus
Gucci
was.
is for the people.
No, he ain't.
Yes, he is. Gucci
Gucci
put
ain't
people
for us.
on.
Gucci ain't for
Jeezy
all
ain't
of
never
us.
put
Gucci
nobody
is
on, but it's
for
motherfuckers.
You act like you want
the
a Gucci
motherfucker.
groupie.
No, I was never Gucci. He
Gucci
was
put Nicki
groupie.
Minaj
I like
on.
Gucci. Don't get it
Gucci
twisted.
put
But
Nicki
you act
Minaj
like
on.
Gucci,
But I
you act
wasn't-
like you don't
Young Thug.
fuck with Gucci
I
now.
fuck
Young
with
Scooter.
Gucci,
You don't sound
but
like
also in the evolution
You
of
don't
me,
sound like it.
and also remembering listening
Migos.
to the music that Jeezy played back, and I remember like, damn, those were my hits back in the days. I also I was raised with street people. Street, like not play street, like street, and that's the music that they listen to. I didn't start listening to Gucci until I got to college,
Yeah, all of
when
us.
it was play.
But
This
If
was
you
play.
look at who they are,
And
And then I was using drugs.
But you vibe,
But I also was using
but
drugs.
You vibe to Gucci harder than you do
Because
Jeezy.
Gucci make music
Do you
drug
not?
dealers, drug people. We
and
use
that's
the drugs
what I
and
hated
drug
because
dealers.
Jeezy was like no B-side shit. Everybody fuck with Gucci B-side shit more than they fuck with his A-side
No.
shit. So I fuck with that off rip. Like, yeah, we want to hear your B-side.
We fuck
Me
with,
personally.
but there was a lot of people that fuck with Jeezy.
And
too.
Jeezy plays
Like,
some B-side
if
shit too.
When I looked
Let's
at
not
my
even-
Facebook,
yeah.
all my Facebook,
I
and
fuck
I got
with Jeezy
4,000
personally,
friends,
but I can't.
and majority of my people was Jeezy.
Nah, and that's
When
what I
Migos
saw
first
too,
started
that
out,
was
And most of the
Wait,
people was Jeezy.
when
Like,
Migos first started out,
it's us under-
Migos went to Gucci and they chains was fake. They
It's
said
it's the
Gucci
under.
Gucci took chains off
It's
his
like
neck.
how Spotify, you know how Spotify is and shit like that.
Okay.
It's like Spotify people and people that listen to like you.
Man.
Just I'm giving a essence of what I'm trying to say because I can't think of the exact word. But we the ones that listen to Gucci. Like
Fuck-
we're not the mainstreamers
fuck
that
that.
listen
Nah,
to
we the
Gucci.
real hip hop heads.
I'm talking
No,
about
no, no.
on some real,
Cause the
yeah.
mainstream is Jeezy.
Right.
And if you
Gucci's-
really fuck with Atlanta shit, you fuck
Exactly.
with real
Underground
you fuck
shit.
with T.I. and
You already know
everybody.
Jeezy,
Yeah, you fuck with
Gucci was
everybody.
So that's
running
what I'm
that
saying.
shit.
So
Jeezy's more
Gucci is
mainstream.
more of like. It's
I
not
remember
Spotify,
at
but
A&T,
you know
every
what
car
I'm
that
saying?
came
It's
down the
not-
strip was playing Gucci,
I
man.
fuck with
And we used to
Gucci.
say that shit.
First of
Every
all,
single car you seen
Gucci.
was playing Gucci.
Gucci got one good studio
Gucci got
album,
like a million
but
damn.
he got
app-
a million mixtapes.
million
And the
mixtapes.
fact that your
He like a
mixtape,
future. He like a
the
future.
fact that your
He got
mixtape
way
can
more
hang
songs than
with
Future.
He like a
mainstream
Future.
nigga.
Ain't nobody got more music than Gucci out right now, even
But
including
Future
Wayne.
shit better than
Wayne got a lot of
Gucci.
music, but Gucci got shitloads.
Future shit better than Gucci at this point in the game.
I'm not talking
Future
about
put
better,
out a
I'm just talking
mixtape
about-
every month.
Gucci would put out one every week, and he did it one time.
And it was trash, though.
More than one time.
But it be trash.
But he put out the
But-
whole fucking
and we be
album.
like, that's my shit, but I be popping the molly at the same
But
goddamn
listen,
time. I don't be sober
Can you
when I hit
explain
that
this to
shit.
me? Jeezy was motivating who?
Jeezy
The
never put
hustlers.
nobody
Yeah,
on.
The
nigga.
hustlers.
He was-
Jeezy never
The
put
real
nobody
hustlers.
on.
He was
The
motivating
real
drug dealers.
hustlers of the world.
And-
There
and
are
now-
real.
Gangsta Gibbs, where he at now?
Mr. Guy, radio engineer over there,
Yes.
give me your thoughts on the back burner of as a hustler.
She got very real.
As a hustler. No, the reality is Jeezy makes music for hustlers, right?
But I was going.
You gotta be a hustler. If you're not a hustler,
I didn't say that. I didn't say.
Jeezy make music for those that's popping shit at the same time.
Listen, it doesn't matter what is. That's
so
not
it's
my
a
point.
whole different. It's
That's
a
not
whole
my
different
point that
vibe.
he's making music for hustlers. Kudos. That's great.
We
I
out
understand
here.
it.
We trying to get checks
I
everywhere.
understand it, and we all relate to it. What I'm saying is.
No, we don't.
Why?
Cause y'all sit here and talk. Y'all might as well pop a goddamn Molly at this point in the game.
But you gotta let me go to the end of the road.
Okay, go to the end of the road. So we get to the
Jeezy
next topic.
Talks about hustling and motivating those, right?
Mm-hmm.
He also says kumbaya. Now we gotta uplift the community. Nigga, you can't tell me to hustle and sell the most drugs I can sell. And then
T.I. the same way.
I know, and that
But
nigga
T.I.
stupid
the same
too.
way. Like,
I'm not
people
picking him up.
evolve. Like, I can't be into Gucci forever because evolution.
Did you listen to
I'm not the
Recession too?
same. I did, but
Was
I'm
he
not
talking
the
about
same.
selling drugs?
He's talking about things that's happening in his life and
sounds
just old stuff.
contradictory.
But what I'm saying is, people
know.
change. Like, y'all the people that want somebody to say the same forever.
I don't, but you can't
Yes,
tell
you
me
are.
you can't tell me you gonna shoot a nigga
But
and then tell me
people
don't shoot a
change.
nigga.
Like I said,
You can't tell me in the same song I
Yeah,
got
but-
a strap but don't
But
kill
he
this nigga.
changed. But he changed.
Like I
You
said,
gotta
he
change
was-
your mindset.
he was acting
You
condescendingly.
can't be a kid forever.
I
because
watched
you
his
grow
whole-
up. The same things you fuck with
But
as
listen,
a kid, as a good and evolved
I
adult,
watched-
you
I
don't
watched-
fool with the same
I watched
thing.
that shit
I
again.
can't watch Dora
But
forever.
listen, we're not listening.
I can't watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse forever.
We're not listening to Jeezy.
I can't
'cause
watch
we want to
Diego
listen.
forever.
We're not listening to Jeezy for Kumbaya.
Jay-Z's the same way. Jay-Z was street, and now he's talking about goddamn 444, which was a boring ass album, but
Listen,
he evolved.
I watched
If
that
you
shit
are
again.
okay with Jay-Z evolving into 444,
No, I'm not.
why you can't be
I'm
okay?
not.
You love 444 too.
I didn't
and
love
I
it.
thought it was trash.
I didn't love it.
You like that
I
shit.
didn't.
You
no.
really like that shit
We
too.
won't even.
We're not gonna
we
add
didn't
that.
even talk
Because we
about
did
doing
talk about
444.
it. No, we did
No,
talk about
we
444
didn't.
before. Because I was like, I don't really like 444.
No,
We talked about
I said
it on the
it's decent. I said it's cool. I said it's alright. I didn't say I love the shit. I'm the biggest hoe. I'm the biggest Jay-Z fan in this
Call him
room.
Hov, yeah.
Right?
See, you
I
call
call him
him
hoe because that's my nigga.
Anyways, we gonna
I
get
call
out
him
this
Jay.
Not even a witness.
Nah, but listen, that nigga doesn't rap as well as he used to because he doesn't have the same
He
content.
still rap. The same. I think.
Nah,
the same.
it's different.
But
And I
you
don't fuck
changed.
with it as much. Just like I don't fuck with T.I. album, I don't fuck with Jeezy
I fuck
album
with
because them niggas
T.I.
ain't talking
too.
about the same shit.
I don't fuck with Gucci albums now.
No, I don't either.
Because they just trash.
I
I think he's gotten
personally
better
fuck
as
with him. I
rapping.
personally fuck
I think
with
he got better
I
as
am
rapping.
average
Unpopular
Gucci
opinion.
fan.
After prison, he's a better
All
rapper.
niggas shouldn't rap no more.
Probably should. Like, they might need to hang that
But yo,
shit
check
up.
this, man.
I ain't gonna lie. You
I
right.
rewatched it. I
Good
felt
one, good
Jeezy
one.
was acting condescending the whole time. Jeezy kept saying stuff that was really trying to get at Gucci. And I felt Gucci on the whole shit when it was
Gucci
like,
played
I'm not
round
gonna sit
one.
here and shut the fuck up.
But Gucci played round
Nah,
one.
because Jeezy kept saying like every
But
time he
Gucci
would
played
play,
round one.
but every time Gucci would play something that would diss Jeezy, he like, oh, I'm on some grown man shit.
That's true.
I ain't talking about this shit no more.
That's true.
But it was like really all you had was hits because Gucci spent a certain time in his career coming at you because of what you did
Nate.
and who you was.
Again,
And
listen to what you said.
Man,
Gucci would
fuck
play
that
some
shit.
fuck shit, and then Jeezy would say some fuck shit. Like, but
no,
who started the fuck
Gucci
shit?
was more defending himself, and then
But
Gucci got
started-
off of it, and then he got back on it
But Gucci
because
started
Jeezy
it.
kept doing it.
But Gucci started it. You
Jeezy
can't-
was saying little
you
shit,
can't throw a
man.
rock and hide your hand the same way Jeezy can't
But
throw a
if you
rock
tried
and
to
hide
kill,
your hand.
if you tried
That's
to
what
kill
I'm
me
saying.
before, if you tried to kill me, if you tried to have
20
me
years
killed,
ago. I'm talking about in
Listen.
That shit is yesterday.
right?
It's 20 years ago.
If you try to have me
15.
But
killed,
what I'm
Clear it
saying,
up.
you're right, 15.
if you
right.
try to have
But
me
in the
killed, you
verse,
Look at
can't
my
talk
opponent.
shit.
like the way
Look
he's
at my
defending
opponent
Gucci in the
outfit.
verse is like, Jeezy was the one that started this
Exactly.
shit. No, he didn't start. Like,
No,
Gucci
Jeezy
started
did start
off
that
the
shit.
verses with round one.
It was his song.
yeah,
it was a
round
song
one
he
and
made.
It was a diss.
No, it was real life. It was the
Oh,
Gucci
man.
versus G. It was the perfect song
It
for
was
the
perfect,
fucking
but
match.
it was.
Listen.
I didn't
You know
even
who
I didn't
really
even
won?
take it
I
as
don't even know
disrespect.
why you
I thought
didn't
it
know
was
that
just
song.
setting the stage.
I don't even know why you didn't know that song. That's the sad thing about it.
But I'm just saying it was just a perfect song,
The
man.
That's
culture
a perfect
won.
song.
The culture.
Culture
The culture
won.
did win.
And next, on to the next topic
All right.
is I'm gonna go with Jeezy on this one at the end of the day. But takes me to another topic. So I saw something on Facebook I saw something on Facebook about black parents, and it was like a little meme of Michael Jordan. Y'all remember Michael Jordan and the crying meme?
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid. But it was like Michael Jordan and the crying meme with a little wig on in a kitchen washing dishes or something like that. And it was like, Mom, I'm depressed or something like that. And the mom was like, depress these damn dishes. And it had, and I was just like, why can't black parents, like, accept their children's feelings and thoughts and shit like that? Like, why we got to, not we, because I don't do that to my child, but why back in the days do black parents have to minimize that shit? Like, even now, why do we minimize the black child's experience? It makes no sense to me. Your child is probably really depressed. And in the moment of washing them damn dishes, it ain't got to be funny. It ain't got to be them not wanting to wash the dishes. Your child is probably really depressed and really struggling to wash those dishes. And that was the perfect time to say it, other than they could have had the ability to say it any other time, but if you understand how depression works, at least they said it.
Well, wash these dishes and then come talk to me about whatever you got on your heart.
Why they can't say it in the midst of washing these dishes?
Because you might stop, because you might get in your feelings. Now you're not washing these dishes.
That didn't mean they were going to stop. Instead of like minimizing their experience and what's going on with them, just acknowledge that, okay, you depressed, baby. Let's talk about it. And then once that dialogue is done, I need you to wash the dishes, please. Like, I get that you go through struggle.
Are kids allowed to be depressed without, like,
Are they human?
And shit?
Are they human? Are they human?
They kids.
But they human, right?
They kids.
But they human.
Like
Didn't you go through shit as a kid?
Kids is like worry free.
Did you go through shit as a kid?
I don't know.
You did.
I take whatever happened to me as a kid as normal.
No.
I
So
might have went
bullying
through
is
shit,
not normal.
but it's like, fuck it.
Kids are going through bullying. Kids are going through the expectations of what their parents has bestowed upon them. Kids are going through whether they should go to college or not. Kids are going through puberty. Kids are going through failing and passing grades. Kids are going through a lot of shit.
That's been through
that
history,
is out of their
though.
control.
I think now we making it such a big deal.
But it is a real deal.
Everybody went through this shit.
There's always been
and we were depressed.
There's always
some
been
of us were depressed.
High like teenage
throwing that word around.
That's why the suicide rate
is
getting high.
And that's why so many people come to school with guns, and commit murder, suicide,
absolutely,
and so forth and so on.
I just feel like they can access guns easier now.
Well, they're also not being acknowledged because we minimize the hell out of shit.
Everybody knew that one kid at school who was crazy enough to do that shit.
That one kid was depressed as fuck.
He probably didn't have
person.
He
didn't talk to nobody. And nobody talked to him.
Saying the same kid that we had
that kid was depressed.
In 1922, there was a kid that went to school that was the same
in
way.
1922,
now we just trying to put labels on everything. Maybe it's normal. Maybe that's fucking.
Depression is not. No, we have normalized it, but depression is not normal.
Going through stuff.
That's why we call them the weird kid, though.
Yeah.
They were weird. Because they weren't normal.
They weren't normal. They were depressed. Just like mental illness to society. That's why it's a stigma to mental illness, because people consider it weak, not normal. Like, really in reality, we all one domino effect away from struggle, like, mental illness.
So what are the new generation parents doing? Like, are they having a conversation with their kids, you think?
I know for me, I do have a conversation
I'm
with
talking about from your peer group of mothers and fathers, do you think that's the norm conversation?
I think so, in a sense. One, you also have to be open to the fact that mental illness is real, and also be aware that people are struggling with mental illnesses.
Well,
So
I
it's
think
hard.
Our parents and grandparents, they weren't aware. And they were raised a certain way, and then they were raised a certain way, so you get what you got. Hey, we don't do that feeling shit over here.
Absolutely.
And you're crying and all that. It's not getting this shit done, so shut the fuck up.
I was telling somebody the other day, like, not one time growing up did I get told I love you.
Wow.
But me and my child say I love you probably 1,000,000 times a day.
Johnny.
Get off me.
I love you too, Johnny.
But I know, like, so if, say me and my sister say I love, like, say my sister say I love you, I'll be like, girl, you okay? You about to die? Like, what you need? Like, because that is so foreign.
Yeah.
But me and my child, we say I love you all day, every day. She is never not going to know that mom loves her. I don't give a damn what you kill somebody. I'm still going to love you, baby, but I'm holding you accountable to that killing.
Right.
But that murder. But I never got told I love you.
I don't think the people that raised us knew how to process
Feelings and emotions.
feelings, and it just isn't a thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not aware, how can you evolve?
Right. And that's why I wouldn't say that the people that raised us, like our family that raised us, was wrong. It's just, for me, right and wrong is in the eye of the beholder. I think, like you said, they were taught a certain thing, they was raised a certain way, even though in essence that shit did not work. Like, they was just like, this is what I had to go through, so let me push it on to you. And for me, and I feel like for this generation, we just need to work on breaking those generational patterns.
I mean, it's crazy because like sometimes I feel cold. Not saying that my mom was like cold towards me, but my mom was like nice to me. But like you said, like I guess saying I love you every time I left the house wasn't a thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she would tell me, but it won't like just on some. Oh, I love you, by the way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it made me numb. To, like, I don't feel like it's fucked up.
No.
I feel like I'm cool with that.
It's only fucked up because your mama tell me she love me every time.
Oh shit! Now I know she did.
Shit.
Every time.
She told you tonight when you left the house.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
She said I love you more. I didn't even say I love you
She
first.
ain't shit for that one.
She ain't.
She ain't shit for that. But I will say your mom's not wrong for that because that's how it was for her. And I don't think she didn't think her people loved her.
No.
Yeah, and I don't think
like I'm saying, like that's not the case. Even with her parents, like you know what I'm saying, it wasn't the case. It's just certain things aren't. I'm not gonna say they aren't necessary, but it's really not necessary. Like I felt the love more than I needed to hear the words. I seen what was happening. Like. You know, I walked in on my mama crying and shit because she couldn't pay bills and she ain't had shit to eat, but she made sure me and my sister and my little sister had something to eat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understood situations and I saw all the sacrifices that was made, her working all day, going to school all night, type shit. Like, we was there.
Can I ask you a question?
And me being the only boy in the house, I was kind of like the man of the house. No, I wasn't by any means the man, but as far as my understanding of things, like I saw where the man needed to be and what he needed to do to make this a whole family, and I understood what was missing. But like I said, to me, it made me stronger that she wasn't like babying me. You get what I'm saying? Because I understand that that's not necessary as long as I'm doing, fuck what I'm talking about and what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. You said you saw your mama's love through the struggle, right?
Yeah.
If you were in a well-to-do situation, mom acted the same way when she didn't have not been as caring?
I think that's hard to answer though.
It depends because
don't
when you say acted the same way, what do you mean?
It's
like,
such a hypothetical.
If she still wasn't telling you I love you, but everything was straight and she had nothing to prove that she loved you.
Like, I'm just saying, like, she literally didn't say the words, but everything else was there. Like,
so
you know
I
what I'm saying? Like, she making sure I'm okay. Like, I was the only boy. I'm my mama's boy. You know what I'm saying?
From the gate, and you didn't have to be in that situation, would you know that your mama loved you?
Right. I guess for me, when I tell my daughter I love you, and we do that back all the time, and I say I didn't really hear that when I was a kid, I, as an adult, realized that bothered me as a kid. So one, if you are, as an adult, say, you know what? Hearing I love you wasn't that big of a deal for me. Like, even now, if I don't hear it, as long as I see the actions, I'm okay with it. That's fine. For me, I realized as an adult, I needed to hear the word. I need to hear the words, I love you.
Right.
And I don't ever want to put my daughter in a predicament that I don't even want to put it in the place that I don't know whether it's actions or words that suffice for her. I'm giving both.
So in your most formative years, right, you still have a love language. Yeah. And if your parents don't know how to love you or what your love language is, then you might be lacking a little bit. When you grow up. Yeah.
And well, it's crazy because now, like with my mom, every time we get off the phone, we say it. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm an adult, and for me personally, every time I leave my kids, I say it because my personal thought process is, I don't know what the fuck might happen to me when I leave out this door. Yep. So the last impression on you needs to be, that I love you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not just all over them all day. Like, oh, I love you. Like, it's like, you know, we cool. And then when it's time to go, it's like, hey, I love you. And then if you don't say it back, hey, little nigga. Like, you know, I got boys, so I'm going to rough them up. But, you know, at the same time, hey, tell me you love me too, because I don't need to leave consciously thinking, you know, what's going on.
I'm glad you said that.
Because I respect my kids as people. As you know, I tell them all the time, it's funny, because I got vitamins and shit that I take or whatever. So every time they're at my house, they're like, Daddy, can we take a vitamin? Because we're going to be men one day. And it's like, yeah, that's how I teach them. You're going to be a man. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I'm here to guide you through that, because that's what my pops do for me. So, you know, even though he's not there physically to see him every day, if I need guidance.
I want to say this.
Yeah.
I appreciate you saying that, because you black men, or men period, don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to feel love or express love. And I don't think that's your fault, but that is one of your pitfalls in life. Men. Like men. That's that, like this, you know, like you see how you said, I have to teach them how to be men, or, you know, I got boys, so you got to rough them up some, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do you have to do all that? Like, or you see how you said, when I say I love you and I don't really say it back, I could be like, hey, you heard me, you know what I'm saying? Like, they might not even understand the essence of I love you, because we raised our black men so cold.
But I have that conversation.
Not you. I'm not saying you.
But I'm just saying, like, personally, like, if I see it, even when they leave their grandparents' house or whatever the case, it's like, say I love you. And then if something happens and they don't say it back, it's like, hey, don't you love your grandma? And then they sit there and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, well, they saying it to you because they want you to know this, and they want to know that you love them back. Yeah. And it's the same thing with me. If I say it to you, I expect a response, not because that's what you're supposed to do, but if you feel that way, I need to know.
I want you to finish, and then I got a question.
No, I just can respect them for that. And then I was reading something that was talking about, so it said men have difficulty expressing themselves. I believe most men are much more insecure than they care to admit. Culturally, it has been consistently taught to men that showing emotions is to be weak, which makes men hesitant to display any emotions except for those that project an image of strength or dominance. This is a truly toxic way of thinking, because not showing or acknowledging your feelings does not mean that they aren't there. Just like anything else in life, feelings just don't go away when you ignore them. They eventually resurface and will be more painful than way before. But I was respecting you for that.
So when we sit down with our parents, grandparents, whoever raised us, right? Mm-hmm. As a black man, they're going to say, hey, you have to be 2 times better than the next person.
But that's the truth.
You got to be smarter, you got to be stronger, you got to be faster. Mm-hmm. They're not teaching us about feelings, they're teaching us how to survive.
They are.
Right?
Survival mode.
Because we don't have time to cry about shit.
That's true.
Because it's 2 times worse than what this person beside us, right? Even amongst each other, hey, watch your back. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like our head is always on the swivel.
We always in survival mode.
Always in survival mode.
My dad said, watch your peripherals.
You can't be emotional and focused at the same time.
And that's why we be so mentally ill, though. Because eventually, like it said, your emotions will resurface, and it's crazy. They will be more painful.
Crazy at the same time how I'm telling you how I'm teaching my boys. Chris knows I was taught from my pops, and I talk with Chris, and I always tell Chris, hey, feelings ain't real, man. You know what I'm saying? Feelings ain't real. That shit ain't real, nigga. It's what's happening, and you know, always business, never personal. Like, you gotta move like that. Like he's saying, unfortunately, you don't have times to soak in your feelings, but I think as younger kids, they need to feel secure about that before they step out into the real world, where that's the factor now. It's like, now you got to put those feelings to the back burner. Now you know how to handle them. You know what they are. You know how to handle them. See, our problem is we don't know what they are because we never identified with them, and we was just told to just suppress it.
Suck it up.
Right. So now as grown adults, where you in real life situations, and feelings are coming up. Now you really confused.
And we don't know how to control them. Now we acting irrational, we defensive.
But the fact remains is still feelings aren't real. I might say something and you feel a certain type of way about it, but that's your personal feelings. But the fact remains of what I said is the fact of what I said. No matter how you took it, it's a statement on this, and
now
I can say whatever.
Now the feeling is real. So what we negate is that the feeling is real. The problem is that we're not taught to let the feelings, like, let that wave ride.
But we can't.
We can.
As black
like
men,
even
we
now,
can't get angry and lose our cool.
But black,
we don't have that luxury.
So you don't even have to lose your cool. Like as black people, we just are taught that feelings don't exist. So when we look at white people and their emotions, we be like, them niggas crazy as fuck.
No,
so even like with me now, and even dealing with my
that.
shit and acknowledging that I have an emotion, I'm not negating the fact that this emotion is real, but I also know that I got real shit to deal with,
But
too.
then you're labeled as an angry black woman and get her out of here. That's all it
fine.
is. Nobody cares after
but
that
I
point.
also
But
am
you
going
could be
to find
completely
myself in an environment
Yeah.
where I'm appreciated in my career, right? And I'm also not going to take my shit to work. Like, so even again, but that's what you have to. So what the issue is with people
black in America.
No,
Nowhere
but that has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with these
cool.
emotions. If we never learn how to cope with our emotions, that's when we become the label. We have to learn to cope.
That's white, black, Hispanic, anybody that takes their shit to work. Because I see it on every
you
race,
like,
every gender. You be like, yo, why is they?
And that's the person that never learned how to deal with their emotions because we were never taught to feel them. If we were taught to feel our emotions, they wouldn't be so painful and difficult now. Like me now, this shit is hard because I was never taught to deal with it. So even when situations would arise, I would always do something to distract, so I never have to feel. So if I distract enough, it'll go away.
I feel the complete opposite. Not to say you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I dig what you're saying, but me personally, I feel the complete opposite. If I was never taught to suppress certain feelings, I wouldn't be able to survive in the environment that I survive in daily, because it's people that's gonna hate on you and be open to your face like they fuck with you, and you know what's going on behind closed doors. But if you get angry and if you get you lose your cool. And I learned from personal experience. Mm-hmm. In my industry, in my field, the only person you hurting is yourself.
I'm being real.
But that's you stuck in survival. Like you don't have, you got the job.
You really have to be numb to this shit. Like
when it comes to survival, you're always in defensive mode. If you are in a place where you have to stay in that mode and you are always hyper vigilant, you might need to reflect, realign, reset, and figure out.
You're not always going to be in
how
a
you
comfortable
receive
situation.
the conflict. Though.
And that's absolutely
how
I look at my job as my money as my lifeline. Like, you fucking with my life, and when it be real shit happening at work for me, I take that shit super personal.
Then you might need to go somewhere else.
No. Because anywhere I go, like I said, it's how I live. This is how I feed my family.
It's also how you look at it too.
But it's life or death. But that's how I look at it every day.
It ain't life or death, Nate.
Why it's not? Because if I'm not doing this, if I'm not getting no money,
we all working for a check. We all working for a check.
That's life or death.
But I'm not in life or death.
We all working for a check.
We all working for a check.
And there's always gonna be somebody stupid at our job.
Always, it don't matter.
I know how to fish. No man gave me a fish, so you can talk your dumb shit right now.
Right.
I can bounce. I'm not going to jail. I ain't fucking up my next bag for you right now.
You right.
And
that's how you gotta be.
You know you're not gonna do nothing to fuck up this check, regardless of what the next person gonna do.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta know myself to that point.
And if I don't give a fuck enough about the check, and you can still say what you need to say to this person or express what it is without it escalating to another
without
situation.
it becoming disrespectful, because you ain't gotta be disrespectful to nobody. Like, I know I was disrespectful, but I allow
or
myself.
You can be disrespectful to a certain point,
and then you accept that. You be like, that's it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I do it.
I'm about the situation.
I'm intellectually disrespectful, but not to you know what I'm saying. I had, when I used to work in call centers, I had somebody read a message I sent to the supervisors. And she pulled me to the side. She said, Nate, you have excellent penmanship, because you was talking shit, but at a professional way. You didn't say anything out of, like, I'm going to tell you how I feel.
And that's fine.
Regardless. But at the same time, that's why I'm saying, like, I really have to take myself, because you know me. Y'all know me. When I get upset, ain't no logic. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to flip this table just to make a scene.
Like, I think it had you acknowledge what you felt before you got angry. You would have been able to handle it better. Like, if you, most of the people don't know that anger is a secondary emotion. It is a man. When you don't
when you feel like you have no control, right? That's when you
it's
get
man-made,
angry. And that's why I try.
But you also felt sadness, hurt, disappointment, frustration, all this before you got to anger. You got to acknowledge that first. You got to acknowledge that first and see how you can solve it. Black men, that's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. When we got sat down, right? It's like, hey, you playing chess, not checkers. Yeah. So you got to be logical, and you got to be to a certain point a little bit cold and assess the situation and adapt instead of going off like this. Right. I'm gonna hurt you this way.
Yeah, you know strategic.
You gotta be strategic instead
of
emotional.
And I think we're all that way.
We have to
in a sense, well, you have to get that way. You gotta acknowledge that you feel a certain way, and then you got to move accordingly.
But you gotta look at all the people who didn't have fathers.
I don't care nothing about any of those.
No. I'm talking about in our community. Yeah. You got to really look at what happened, even down to the, our prior conversation, the jeezy, Gucci beef, and all that shit. Our generation, we have hope, which is giving the next generation even more hope because we didn't necessarily have fathers, which I did, luckily, but a lot of people didn't have that. But we had public figures, you know what I'm saying? People like Gucci and like Jeezy, like we saying, we understand the raw of where they were at 05, 06. But now, you see where they are now. Business owners, successful entrepreneurs. And that's what black people are teaching within the culture. White people trying to make it like, oh, they teaching killing each other and all this kind of stuff. No, we teaching that you can be from this and you can still have something if you go out and get it for yourself. I think that's the message that
needs to be displayed more often.
If you look at our generation,
from the gate,
if you look at our generation,
now they just teaching us that.
But if you look at our generation, all of the laws and stuff that we're trying to do now is trying to get those people out that was wrongfully locked up and have these extra long terms because they was purposely taking our fathers out of these homes either by killing them or sending them to jail.
Well, I mean, that started with slavery.
But I'm just saying.
I can't wait for the rappers that are out now, kids to rap. Because I just want to hear rich nigga rap.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear, like, pop,
That's just
and then it's sad to say, I don't even know if they're going to make it because they're going to kill each other. Right. Like, at least the people that was coming up in our generation, like, they were trying to kill each other. But they was trying to kill each other, but they didn't make it happen, but they was making music.
I'm so sick of niggas dying and blowing up after they die.
These niggas is dying. Like, it's ridiculous. It's sad.
RIP these niggas.
Like,
that
y'all
shit is sad.
RIP, man.
But
man, I'm glad I didn't put out my mixtape.
Please don't.
Right.
That brings me to another thing, y'all. What? So, since we talk about all this black people thing, blah, 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 and all these emotions and stuff, I'm just thinking, like, somebody else, I steal something off Facebook and I'm a thief. What y'all laughing at, host? Somebody said this generation of women is not clingy or feminine, and I had to reflect on it, and I was like, you know what? We probably are not, and for what? Like, when we were clingy and feminine, it's because we was trying to nab you niggas.
What generation
but now we are the shit. Like, we know we the shit too. And why we gotta be clingy?
What?
To y'all.
Why y'all gotta do this?
Feminine is objective. So,
the
feminine is objective.
The grandmas and aunts I know won't clingy to no niggas.
Yeah, they was. That's why they was with their niggas after they cheated all these years.
They was with them niggas.
That's why they cheated.
No. But they won't clingy with them niggas.
That's why they cheated on them niggas.
When your grandparents got 2 bedrooms.
Yeah. Nah, 2 houses.
Just 2 houses. And be like, Grandpa, I'm going to go visit Grandpa today.
My little sister had 2 houses.
That's not work.
No, they stayed together in the same house because them niggas didn't know that it was an option.
For my grandmother, they slept together because the other rooms was compiled with clips.
They turned their bed.
Hey, they was in that goddamn bed together.
Separate.
Us women now, bye.
Nah, I you know what I feel like?
I don't think.
Because as you talking about it, to be honest, when I go home, it's crazy. Like, if I bring a chick home, I'm probably not going to be there with you. And not saying it on no bad shit like that, but my mama is going to send me places. And that's normal for my family. Like, the men go out and do what they do. And the women stay home and cook and take care of shit there. And it's normal for them to, he's out doing this, let him be. But you know, chicks be, oh, he's gone all day. What is he doing? Men shit, goddamn it. Like I got to go out and getting this chicken, man. Come back with the motherfucking. I'm gonna take you to go get this burger bag. We gonna go get this Michael Kors set up.
I get a burger with my
with the shit that I've been doing all day. But you don't need to worry about that.
You can't come on.
You don't need to worry about that.
That's
what if I don't want you to know?
That's why the fuck I'm not clingy or feminine now, right there, because you think I need you. I don't need you.
It's not that you don't need me.
I don't need you.
It's not that you don't need me.
I said femininity is objective, so I don't know.
I
read that and I was like,
I don't think a man can move at his full ability when he's constantly worried about, is my female okay without me wherever she is? Let that be homework.
That's your mind, because
no. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying it may be times where he can't talk to her, and he doesn't need to be worried about that. He needs to be focused on whatever's going on in front of him so that he can make it back to you. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
should, if he in a career field,
now you have these clingy women who get upset.
I want you to like me. I want you to love me. I don't want you to be clingy, and I want you to be feminine. I don't know what feminine is.
I don't know what feminine is. Like,
I mean, hopefully you.
I don't know what
hopefully
feminine
you ain't
is.
like grabbing your vagina and like a dick.
No, that's
I don't know, I might.
Like,
that's hoes.
I might.
And like, you just gonna grab your clit?
There I am, right now.
Why? What's happening right now? You've never done this before.
I'm doing it because I can.
Why?
Because it's a real thing.
So, like he said, yeah, I want you to be feminine.
Yeah, I don't want you to call me bruh. And
I might, because I do. So I call y'all bro, y'all feel some type of way?
You're not my girl, though.
Okay. Like, that's why we are friends and not dating, because you got like a nigga.
Let me tell you about my best friend.
But see, you was a lady, so
was
I guess.
I just turned into a girl.
You're right. That's what I'm saying.
Like, think so?
Girl, no, I have a vagina, so I'm genetically a girl.
Genetically.
But society's term of feminine, I guess I probably just became feminine to an extent.
In what ways?
I guess because I wear heels once every blue moon.
You was wearing heels before? Every blue moon?
I would wear heels and still be like, bruh.
I think most girls are like that, though.
Right.
You know what turns me on more than anything, though?
And every now and again I wear a little... I don't know, like, I care more about my nails. I care more about, like, certain things. Like, I didn't get my nails done back in the days.
You did?
I get my nails done back in the days. I didn't do certain things. Like, now, I'm going to go to the spa. I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to get my feet done. I'm going to get my hair did. Like, I'm going to go do retail shopping frequently.
Feminine self-care.
She's got money now. That's all.
I got money now, so I guess.
Well, just say that.
Oh, maybe the world need to say that to me. They need to say you need to be have money to be
afford
that.
You couldn't afford
a spot.
You didn't have the right nigga.
Every 2 weeks, I'm about to get this done. I'm about to get this massage.
The right nigga would have had that shit done, whether you had the money or not.
I don't know about none of that. But back in the days, so I guess now that I got money now, I'm society's version of feminine. Now I still don't wear heels as much as I used to, because I would wear heels to go out. Now I'm just like, oh bitch, this after childbirth, I'm just like, oh God. But in the essence of that post, I'm like clingy feminine. Like, I mean, we not about to cling to y'all niggas, because
I feel like that's
who the fuck are you?
That's the reputation.
Anything that you do, I can do.
Right.
Like, what are you bringing to the table for me to be clingy and feminine?
And that's the new female reputation that y'all try to give off.
There are dildos for that, sir.
I guess.
And there are dildos with
your arm get tight.
Porn.
Your arm get tight.
Dildos with porn. Not if I do it like I needed to. Dildos with porn.
You just gonna sit it there?
Dildos with porn.
Listen.
Dildos with porn.
Y'all try to act like y'all so independent.
Dildos with porn. I am very independent.
At the end of the day,
I do know I want a man, but I'm very independent.
I'm not coming at you directly.
I know.
I'm not saying you.
But women are independent.
I'm saying from my survey of women. Let's put it out there like that.
No, we all independent.
Excluding you.
All women.
My survey of women.
We all independent.
They try to put on that they're independent, but then you get to a certain point. Female. You get to a certain point where they want to be around you all the time. Either they don't want to fuck with you
because they like you.
Right.
And when you're not around, they say you're not paying attention.
Obviously, if they're not clingy to you, they don't like you enough.
Nah,
that might mean something
I need to know that you on my dick just a little bit.
Right.
But I don't need to be like,
but y'all want us to be on y'all dick. Y'all want us to be on y'all dick for
Christmas
some like provider standpoint. We don't need that. Like if we we are clingy to you in the 2020 era, because 2020 you might die from COVID. But if we clingy to you now, it's just like we must really, really like your ass, like, and you need to respect that because.
Or you really, really lonely.
Let me ask you this: was that post?
We really, really like.
Was that post a positive or a negative?
What? Which one?
The one
that
clingy and not feminine.
In what aspect?
Like, are we saying that you should be clingy and feminine?
I feel like the person that posted it felt like women should, like it was a negative, like women should be,
I mean,
like women used to do that back in the days and they should still be doing it, but they so fucking independent. They independent now, like, so maybe it's all in the perception of the person that reads it. The way I read it was like, you women is so independent now that you can't be clingy to a man no more, blah, 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 blah.
Clingy is just a negative, has a negative connotation.
It does.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
I don't know, that's alright. But...
Me and my dad call chicks Klingons that you know...
That's stupid.
They can't, no, you fucking Klingon. Get the fuck off me. Because you got them. Like, it's some crazy motherfuckers out there. Like, as soon as you leave, hey, what you doing? Like, bitch, I just seen you 5 seconds ago.
They sick, too.
Stop.
That relationship shouldn't last.
No, that's
they
not even a relationship. That's,
they just, you know, there's a reason that
they're so clingy. When you start acting like that, like, come on.
But there's a reason they so clingy, though. Like, they probably got some shit going on with them anyways.
Well,
but, I guess. Anyways.
I'm not a therapist.
So,
yeah.
before we get off this, do you think that women are clingy and feminine?
You talking about in today's society as a majority?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to say this. I don't. And the only reason I'm saying it's a negative. And I'm going to say this.
You also
women feel like, wow.
Go ahead, though.
This is the realest nigga you'll ever fucking know in your motherfucking life.
Go.
Anyway.
And when I was his real fan, I was popping Molly's too. So, go.
Burr. There we go. Anyway, like women get so engulfed in this I don't need a man now that it's detrimental to even what a man is trying to do sometimes. Like, sometimes it's not that I think that you can't sustain on your own and all this kind of stuff, but a man likes to feel macho for one, and for two, like, what else? If we can't take care of you, what else are we doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I might need to figure that shit out.
Because then I can be the fuck nigga who's just with you because you doing better than me and you can do for me.
Oh, why can't we equally
but then
take
you'll
care
be
of
mad.
each other?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what a man wants to feel. But women get so engulfed
No,
in
you
this,
just
I don't
said
need
that
a man.
if I can't take care of you, then what is a man?
I'm saying nowadays, I feel like women take this whole woman empowerment shit to a whole nother level till they feel like I don't need a man, and that's
we don't virtually.
Okay, we understand
we really
that.
Don't. So whatever. So what you have to realize is we don't need you anymore for this simp shit that y'all continue to try to bring back from the 1990s or some 80s. Whatever the fuck y'all think we need.
I want y'all to be able to stand on your own.
You don't have to want nothing because we got it.
Okay.
What we want you to bring
hear about
is
it. Because if I was a nigga bragging to you about my money and how I can do on my own all the time, you would get tired of me.
Maintain our peace, okay?
Maintain my peace.
I want to be at peace with you.
Let me take you out as a woman.
We need him. Yes,
Let me take you to go get your nails and shit done at the spa.
You sure can.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Women are past that now.
Huh?
I want you to be able to pay for your own shit all the time.
You know what? I can pay for it, but
when you say, "Hey, I'm going to the spa today," great. I hope you have a good time.
I want you to offer a little something.
If you say, "Hey, I'm trying to go to the spot," can you
I'm
help me out?
over this conversation.
Yes,
I agree.
I'm over this conversation.
But if you make a
you
plan on your own,
but then you want us to need you.
I'm not responsible.
But then you want us to need you.
No,
Like, what the fuck wrong with y'all
I never want
niggas?
no woman to need me ever.
You can come to me in a place of vulnerability and say, I want to do this, but I don't have it.
I just want you to
Can you spot me or
I don't
can
need you to need me, because if you need me, there's a problem.
There you go. There you go.
So I want to come in equally yoked.
There you
Hey,
go, baby.
you can take a trip by yourself. I can take a trip by myself. We
But
can
I
come
got
together
you
and
if
have
you
a
need
bomb
me.
ass double trip.
Bow.
You know what I'm saying?
Ow.
You need gas in your car.
But I
Guess
guess,
what? You pumping it yourself.
I guess men need to not.
You stupid.
I guess for me, and I mean, in essence, men need to not see that this clingy or whatever their thought of femininity is as a negative, because it's really not a negative. You just really want a woman that should be able to stand on her own too.
Right.
Now I can see where like some women can be like overly, and those are probably those ones that have gone through some shit. Like, and they finally got to a place where they...
Or the problem is that they were taught this from their mom.
Could have been taught this. This is true.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
No disrespect. All respect. I don't want to date a stud.
True.
I'm sure you don't.
Right.
That's all. I just
we're
don't
going to
want...
shut this podcast down. We're going to shut this shit down because we can talk about this for days.
Okay.
We can talk about this for days. Again, just know that if you're a Gucci fan, you popping mollies. If you a Jeezy fan, you a real
hustler. He don't even drink, smoke, pop mollies, nothing no more.
If you minimize your child's experience, if your child say they're depressed, they fucking depressed.
This nigga changed his whole life, and she's still trying to down, man.
If your child say they depressed, they fucking depressed. Okay? Mm-hmm. Let them be depressed. Talk about it, send them to therapy, and still make them watch the dishes. What you got to say at the end of this so we can wrap this up?
No, man. Hey, I fuck with y'all, man. Good job.
Okay, thank you. To the right.
Nah, give it back to him. It's elaborate.
I got that.
Listen, Carol Baskins.
Okay.
Look, I'm trying to share all these feelings that you want me to have.
I do.
Fuck y'all.
I'm not in the feeling mode.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Gucci was the bigger man, considering that his life was threatened, and he behaved the way he did in front of America. And your kids don't know what depressed even mean, let alone how to spell it. So wash these dishes, man, and stop complaining, because, nigga, we had to do shit till our fucking fingers wrinkled up. We ain't complaining about that. Go to sleep smelling like bleach.
I did.
My fingers.
All the time.
But if you complain, you got popped in the mouth.
Anyways, so.
And then at the end of the day, ladies, we just trying to serenade you, you know what I'm saying? Trying to take care of you, trying to show you some
This nigga's trying to trick on you.
He trying to trick you.
He trying to pay
you
y'all
crazy. Now that's why I know you crazy. That's why I know you crazy. I ain't never tricking on shit. You crazy. If I feel like you broke, I'm gonna tell you I don't got no money.
The most trickingest nigga in the world.
Podcast.
Yeah. Believe that shit you want.
Anyway.
You be somewhere stranded.
Anyways.
Captain Safe.
Love.
Never say the bitch.
Stupid shit. Live.
What is it?
Nigga shit. We out. Episode 17. Okay.
Nate don't love these hoes.
They already know.
Nate ain't never loved no hoe.
You said